episode, man. All the music's been amazing, y'all. Kate for Rizens, that shit was off the chain. Man, that was amazing. Big Cove up in this motherfucker. And Big Strippinati Colors, too, that dude who rocked before. That shit was tight, too. Thanks to Big Alexi back there. Holy job on the sound, my G. Thanks for having us. Let me retune here. I got 2 more jams for y'all. Now my man went back in the day to a White Castle drive-thru in Nashville, Tennessee. He was high as a motherfucker. He went to a White Castle drive-thru at about 1 a.m. in the morning. He went to the White Castle drive-thru. He was puffed out. He got his White Castles and then went home and went to sleep. Nothing too strange about it. He woke up the next morning. He drove to work at 7:30 a.m. 6 hours after he had had his White Castles the night before. He passed by the White Castle. It wasn't there anymore. It was just an enormous pile of rubble and dust. He said, "Where did it go?" Well, it turns out, at some point, probably minutes after he dogged his White Castle, the health department rolled in, and the shit was so bad that they leveled the building to the ground. He probably ate the last little shriveled chode burgers that ever came out of that place. They leveled it to the ground. There was probably 7 roaches up in his french fries. He was so high he didn't notice. It was probably rat turds that he thought was peppercorns up on the burgers. Reminds me of a time that I ate way too much White Castle. This one cracker-ass dude said he would buy me all you can eat for having me play a show. I said, "You don't know what you're getting into. All you can eat with the Hurricane." I ate about 15 White Castle burgers, little shriveled joints, and I had about 5 large fries. And I had the meat sweats like a motherfucker. I crashed my bike a couple times on the way home. I kept falling over, smashing into signs and ping-ponging off of whips. People screaming at me, "You too drunk to bike?" I said, "Fuck you!" You're right though. But it's the meat. I'm drunk off the White Castle. I woke up the next morning, I thought I was dying. I had the meat sweat so bad and it was hot as hell up in my spot on this haunted futon. I was sweating, feeling overblown. I blacked out off a White Castle. But there was vibrations coming through the floor, bass, drums, guitar, from the holy Indonesian family beneath, in the apartment below us, and holy Maspeth Queens. And it was a spiritual dangdut band from the island of Java in Indonesia. And the dad, the father of the family, came from Java, Indonesia, to the U.S. Rolled in, and he had to add extra names to his name. His name was the Sumlang. Well, he said, well, I got all these kids, I'm going to call myself Daddy Sumlang. So we would get his mail by accident all the time addressed to Daddy Sumlang. And their band was called Daddy and the Sumlangs. And they were a naughty dangdut band from Java in Indonesia. And they awoke me and cleansed the meat sweats out of my body with these mystic Javanese vibrations. And I wrote this song instantaneously upon rising. It's called the Daddy Sumlang Blues. Dedicated to Big Andrew. Your skin, and if you don't know where to go, don't worry, my friend. And if you don't know what to do, listen to the creek. And if you listen very close, you hear that spirit speak. Oh yeah. Where to go as the wind against your skin. And if you don't know where to go, don't worry, my friend. Oh yeah. That's the Daddy Sumlang. It's a spiritual pleasure to be up here in Philly, and you know it's my first show as a Philadelphian, but I got to give y'all the Gooey Louise update.
Oh shit.
And for those that don't know about Gooey's, I got to fill them in on the past. So for y'all, those of y'all that don't know, it's a Philly cheesesteak joint called Gooey Louie. According to some, the meat is expired. That's why they put so much meat on the sandwich. It's just like eating X-Lax. I ain't gonna lie about that. Blood might come out if you eat the full sandwich. Like when I did that Nashville hot chicken, triple X, the top level the other day, and the dude said to me, "You're gonna be shoving ice cubes up your ass." Well, I ended up putting an ice cube where he said I was gonna do it. Ease the pain momentarily. Now, the first time I went to Gooey Louie's, My boy had always told me, you're gonna see some dudes that are obese and shriveled at the same time. I said, what the fuck do you mean? I was angry. I was like, what do you even mean by that? Obese and shriveled? How's that possible? Well, my friends, just go down to Moyamensing Avenue, right past the statue of Adam Boyson, live on Moyamensing, and you'll pass to the Penn Sport Mall. In there is a place called Gooey Louie's. You pop your head in and you will see mad obese pimps that are also shriveled. I've never seen them anywhere else. Maybe at the gym every once in a while. I go to the Holy Gym. There was an obese, shriveled pimp on the treadmill, and he said, "Hey, buddy." Honestly, I think I might have recognized him from Gooey's, or maybe the Mexican Gooey Louie's, El Magooey's, which is across from that place, the Fountain Pubic, or whatever it's called. El Magooey's, El Magooey Louie's. But you know, I went up in Gooey's. I went to go try it out. There was an obese and shriveled pimp. He was hollering at the old 95-year-old woman at the counter. You want some sharichi? We're thinking to ourselves, sharichi? What is this guy talking about? He doesn't know what to say sriracha? He was trying to say ceviche. You want some sharichi? She said, what's that? It's kind of like vegetables. She said, I don't want any of that shit. Fucking vegetables up in Gooey Louie's. Fucking vegetarians allowed up in that motherfucker. I've been with some vegetarians up in there, and they had the time of their lives. So vegetarians are allowed. I wouldn't loudly announce that you was vegetarian, but you was allowed inside. They have pictures of all the newscasters, Glenn Hurricane Schwartz, and all the other pimps, and some strange soul and R&B bands that no one's ever heard of. But I think Andrew, our bad boy, might have heard of one of those bands, the Blue Pimps or something like that, I think was their name. From Egg Pimpinati City, I believe they was from. But in Gooey Louie's, the vibes are off the chain. You go up in there, and dudes are obese and shriveled. And I went up in there recently, and they told me that they was gonna put my picture on the wall, next to the picture of Glenn Hurricane Schwartz, the weatherman. And I said, hell yeah. And we go in this last time, after doing a live podcast for an hour and a half about Gooey Louie's. We then walk up inside Gooey Louie's, and there's a 500-pound dude chilling up in the joint. And he says, I've been eating at Gooey Louie's since I was 14 years old. And my boy whispers in my ear, he says, yeah, I can tell. He had been in Gooey Louie's dogging for like 35 years. And he was huge. He was off the chain. And he ordered a large Gooey Louie's cheesesteak. And I think something that's called the Pimp Jewish or something like that. It's called like the Pimp Jewish or like special Jewish or something. And it's like corned beef. He couldn't even tell me what was on it, but it was huge. It was the size of like, I picture it being the size of like Free Willy's, dong or something. Huge! And he dogged that for lunch and the Gooey Louie's large cheesesteak for dinner. That's enough for an army of people. And then there was two shriveled, it looked like they were maybe like Polish refugee gangsters. Like a lady in a tiny little headdress, shriveled in the corner. And this dude in like a lumberjack shirt with his eyeballs melting. Huge gaps coming out. It looked like the saddest saddest, like, hush puppy you've ever seen. And the shriveled little woman. And I kept saying, yo, what up, y'all, what up? They'd have to go. And I was like, yo! And the lady just goes, cigarettes. And the dude goes, yeah. And they just rolled, the lady rolled out of the spot. I come to find out that dude is the owner of Gooey Louie's. It's insane, man. That shriveled gangster looked like a Polish refugee pimp in a lumberjack shirt with his eyes dripping down below his chin. Is the owner of the one and only Gooey Louie's. That blew my mind so hard I was crying for hours of joy and sadness and peace and love and everything, thinking about how that guy was the owner of Gooey Louie's. He don't look like he ever ate a cheesesteak in his life. Doesn't look like he ate anything in his life. Looked like he ate some pecan fucking skins or something like that. Some shriveled ass, you know, what do they call that? Those psychedelic green nuts with the pistachio shells or something. Subsisting off pistachio shells for the past 75, maybe 175 years. This dude is like ancient as a motherfucker. But Gooey Louie's is very spiritual. If you have any sense and you are not a vegetarian, I would recommend to go there tomorrow. And if not, I'm going to try to take all these New York pimps up to Max's Steaks tomorrow. Because that's where the real shit goes down. And if y'all want to come along, give us a mystical shot. I hear one of these New York pimps is trying to get back to the big city. But I might shove a Philly cheesesteak up in their gears or something like that. Keep they whip from rolling and take them up to Max's. Because we're going to get spiritual tomorrow. Now this next song's about dog and food. I love to dog food. In fact, after this, I think I'm going to go dog some food. Yeah. Hopefully we all going to the barn or something like that and we're going to guzzle. We're going to dog and we're going to have a blast. But you know, it reminds me of the time that I took my father with me down to a place called Firehouse Subs, a strange sub chain, kind of like Subway, but with like larger subs, created by some firemen, I heard. And they have hot sauces galore. And I was dumping on the hot sauce, and the dude said to me, he said, yo, I got a sauce for you that's gonna fuck you up. And I said, what's that? He said, it's called ass reefer.